All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about a way to completely reframe your life, to stop seeing it as just a game of chance and start treating it like a game of mastery. It really is all about flipping that script, becoming the player, not just a pawn on the board.
So let's just start with this one question, because it gets right to the heart of why so many of us feel, well, stuck. You know exactly what you need to do, right? The path is usually right there in front of you. But something's holding you back. And this whole conversation, it's about figuring out what that something is and finally overcoming it.
And that really brings us to the fundamental game we are all playing, whether we know it or not. I mean, life is the game board, isn't it? And figuring out your role on that board, that's the absolute first step to actually winning.
I mean, just think about this for a second. Are you a pawn or a player? A pawn is just reactive. You're moved around by all these external forces, what society wants, what your family expects, you know the drill. But a player is proactive. They don't just blindly accept the rules. They actually study their own blueprint, their strengths, their weaknesses, to build a strategy that's all their own. It's a huge shift from being a victim of your circumstances to becoming the architect of your own reality.
Okay, so how do you actually make that leap from pawn to player? Well, it all starts with one super crucial step. You've got to know your own specs. Seriously, think about it. You wouldn't get in a high-performance car without knowing how it handles, right? So why would you try to navigate your own life without knowing your own unique features?
First up, we've got astrology. And listen, let's just forget the newspaper horoscopes for a minute. That's not what we're talking about. Think of this more like a cosmic weather report that was generated the moment you were born. It's a map, and it can show you where you've got natural sunny skies, your strengths, and where you might expect some storms, your challenges. It's a blueprint for your potential.
Then you've got human design. Okay, so if astrology is the weather report, human design is like the super detailed owner's manual for your specific energetic vehicle. It's pretty amazing. It blends all these ancient systems, astrology, the I Ching, Kabbalah, the chakras, to give you this really practical guide on how you're personally wired to make decisions, use your energy, the whole thing. The goal? To live with the most flow and the least resistance.
And this is where it gets really practical. You can see how each of these energy types has a completely different strategy for getting through life. I mean, if you're a projector and you're trying to hustle 24/7 like a generator, you're just going to burn out. It's not how you're built. Knowing your type means you can finally stop fighting against your own nature and just start working with it.
And last but not least in our toolkit, there's numerology. This is all about the idea that the numbers connected to you, especially your birth date, have a certain vibration or story to tell. By figuring out something like your life path number, you're basically getting another layer of insight, another clue about the major themes of your life's journey.
So here's the absolute most important takeaway from all this. These tools, astrology, human design, numerology, they are not about putting you in a box. Not at all. They're about showing you the box you're already in, the one you were born into, so you can understand it, master it, and then, build whatever you want from it. A pawn is a mystery to themselves. A player is a student of themselves. Period.
Okay, so knowing your specs is absolutely critical. But it's just step one. The real work, the stuff that's challenging but also incredibly rewarding, that starts when you finally turn inward and face the things that are stopping you from playing your best game.
So what's the biggest baddie on the game board? Who's the final boss? It's not some person out there. It's not the system. It's internal. And you already know its name. It's fear. Fear is the ultimate enemy of growth. It's the mind killer, and man, does it wear a lot of different masks.
And this is how that fear shows up, as these internal enemies. It's that egoic self, that part of you that's clinging to some old identity. It's that pressure to just fall in line with groupthink. It's that desperate need for someone else to say, good job. It's the siren song of the comfort zone and the heavy weight of unresolved trauma. I mean, these are the real dragons we have to slay.
So, you can't run from them. It just doesn't work. The only way forward is to stop. Real wisdom, the kind that actually sets you free, is having the courage to face these demons head on, to look them right in the eye, because you can't conquer what you're not willing to confront.
Okay, so what's on the other side of all this hard work? What happens when you actually start winning some of these inner battles? Well, you start to earn the real prize of this whole journey. And trust me, it's worth way more than anything you can buy. The true prize here isn't about stacking up more stuff.
It's not about the bigger house, the faster car, the fancier title. The real reward is a state of being. It's this deep, internal freedom. It's the ability to act with total clarity, with real purpose, because your authority doesn't come from anyone else. It comes from something solid and unshakable deep inside you.
But look, that kind of inner peace, that freedom, it has a price. There's a cost of admission. You have to be willing to pay it. And what's the price? It's letting go of your attachment to fear. That's the deal. That's the trade you have to make.
So let's bring this all together. How does this look in the real world, day to day? Because this isn't a one-and-done kind of thing. It's not about winning one battle and you're good forever. No, this is a path you walk, a conscious choice you have to make over and over and over again.
And if you want a map for that path, you can look at ancient systems like the Tree of Life. Now, don't get bogged down in all the details here. The big idea is super simple. It shows a journey. It starts with pure potential up at the top, what's called the crown, flows down through the level of the soul, and lands right here in our physical reality, our kingdom. It's basically a model for how you take a tiny spark of an idea and make it real in the world.
And at the end of the day, this whole journey is about one thing: embodiment. It's about actually living this stuff. It's about becoming what you could call a grid walker, someone who gets really good at navigating both worlds at once. Your inner world of thoughts and feelings, and the outer world of action and, well, life. You learn to walk the grid, consciously.
So, we've kind of come full circle. We're ending right back where we started, but hopefully with a totally new perspective. You've seen the map, you have the tools, the path forward is clear. It's just not easy. So now the only question that matters is the one that only you can answer. Are you ready to play?